Today, the Philadelphia 76ers matched up with the Denver Nuggets, but this matchup went much deeper than just your typical basketball game for very weird reasons. The 76ers had 7 available players this game. This is not an overstatement. The 76ers legit had 7 players available to play. There was the whole Doc Rivers, Mike Scott thing, but you guys get my point. 7 players available for this game. That's absolutely ridiculous. I honestly cannot believe this happened. But just like anything else, you guys know I had to bring you guys the scoop on this game. I'm honestly still in disbelief. Before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss another Get Like Coop video. And that's facts. If you guys enjoy my content, the chances are you'll enjoy my streams. The link to my stream is going to be in the description below. In that same description, you'll find the link to my NFL channel and also my Twitter. I just uploaded an awesome video to my NFL channel, so be sure to check that out after you guys watch this video. This is a weird season. I say this all the time. Doesn't make it any less true. I'm actually dropping a video later today in which I basically say this is a weird season, the entire video. But I mean, this is peak weird. Not because of the circumstances, but I'm honestly not sure how the NBA did not cancel this game. I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, how did we get to this point? Well, this past Thursday, Seth Curry tested positive before the game, and the entire 76ers team had to enter quarantine. We flash back to just yesterday, and Woj says that the 76ers were expected to have multiple players miss time due to contact tracing and are still awaiting the result of testing. Woj went on to say no organization wants to play a game with just 8 players, especially against an opponent like Denver. Sixers might prefer postponement, but unfortunately the NBA is under immense pressure to keep a balanced playing field for each team faced with these situations. This will be a recurring instance. It's unfortunate that things ended up the way they did, but of course I understand why the game continued. And even though this is an incredibly tough situation, I do think there's some good that can come from this situation, and that is players that would not usually get opportunities to play now have a sort of small window to prove themselves. Now, obviously, the trade-off is not great, and this is not something that I'm rooting for in any situation. That's just me honestly searching for the positive out of all of this. Almost forgot. Woj also said after Curry's positive test, the rest of the Sixers roster tested negative late Friday night. Do with that information what you may. We have to talk about the starting lineup that started this game. No Ben Simmons, no Joel Embiid, no Tobias Harris, who was just the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. 76ers fans are starting to appreciate this guy. Man, what a weird time. Thibault is out. Shake Milton, Terrence Ferguson, Vincent, Paul Reed, all of these guys missed today's game. So not only were the 76ers missing a ton of their best players, they were missing key role players also. If you take Joel Embiid away from the team, if you take Ben Simmons away from the team, we're talking about 2 guys that are all NBA level players not being able to play. That team is going to be significantly worse. Now, if you take key role players also away from that team, I'm not sure how they could play a competitive basketball game, but they did. The 76ers were competitive, not the entire game, but they definitely had their moments. At one point, this 76ers team took the lead. So I'm actually getting a little ahead of myself. Before we get into the game, we have to talk starting lineups. The 76ers started Isaiah Joe, Tyrese Maxey, Dakota Mathias, Danny Green, and also Dwight Howard, who Doc Rivers said might have to play point guard this game. In case you guys forgot, Dwight Howard has definitely showcased some handles throughout his career. I feel like his Charlotte years are actually really forgotten somehow. He was flat out balling with the Charlotte Hornets. Okay, so that's not fair. I can't just give Dwight Howard his props. I have to give you guys some background on the entire starting lineup. Isaiah Joe, this guy was coming into this game averaging 0.5 points per game and 1 board. He was drafted in the 2nd round with the 49th pick. A lot of guys drafted this late never see a minute of basketball. I have respect for him just being ready to play in this game. Now, it's not like he hasn't played the entire season. Big props to Doc Rivers for giving this guy minutes. A lot of coaches in the NBA are really stubborn. Don't play young players in what feels like any circumstance. Really ridiculous. I don't like that. I think that's an old-fashioned way of coaching, and I think it's broken. For everybody that hoops that's on the bench right now, stay ready because you never know when your number is going to be called. Now, Danny Green, we all know who Danny Green is. We know what Danny Green is about. I really don't have to give you guys a ton of background on Danny Green. Do with that what you may. In San Antonio, Danny Green was a different beast. I can't let everybody do Danny Green dirty, not today. Dakota Mathias, this guy averages 5 points per game this season, has spent some time in the G League, but what you like about him is he can shoot the basketball. Tyrese Maxey always comes ready to hoop. This guy's an absolute steal for the 76ers. If you don't know him, you'll probably end up hearing about him very soon. Very good, incredibly crafty with the basketball in his hands, loves to attack, and honestly, he just knows how to put the ball in the basket. This was a really weird game for the 76ers. I have to give it to this team for putting up a fight. I have to give it to Doc Rivers. I feel like this was a tough situation for everybody involved. The Nuggets have definitely been a team that has not played like we've been expecting the Nuggets to play this season. For one, I would love to see Bol Bol. I'm actually going to do a video on that very soon. I don't understand the logic in not playing Bol Bol. Has anybody else noticed that a lot of teams that made deep bubble runs or decent bubble runs are struggling? And I'm not saying every team. Well, let me say some teams that made these runs are struggling right now. And I think that's really interesting. Now, we all know fatigue is real, but I'm wondering what you guys think. Does it go deeper than just fatigue? For the Denver Nuggets, absolutely destroying this 76ers team would have been a fantastic start to turning their season around. Well, it would have been a great start. It would have been a good start. I guess it would be a start. And bro, Tyrese Maxey had 39. This guy is going to be special. I told y'all the Sixers have done it again. Tyrese Maxey's 39 is the most in a rookie's first start since 1970. You cannot make this up. Absolute bucket. And keep in mind, the Nuggets knew that the 76ers were going to go through Maxey. That's tough. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm Get Like Coop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.